WPKY Autumn Adventure.
All for you.
From 1580 103.3 WPKY. With YourSportsEdge.com, you get more coverage of your favorite teams, athletes, and sports.
Lets me know the student as a whole person.
With no page limits or subscription fees ever.
It needs exposure for the local high school athlete.
A new look and a new feel, no matter where you are.
Even if I'm out of town, I have it on my phone.
It's always available right at your fingertips.
Round-the-clock coverage of local athletes.
High school sports coverage the way it's supposed to be.
I love what they did with the website.
Download the free app now. YourSportsEdge.com. With YourSportsEdge.com, you get more coverage of your favorite teams, athletes, and sports.
Lets me know the student as a whole person.
With no page limits or subscription fees ever.
It needs exposure for the local high school athlete.
A new look and a new feel, no matter where you are.
Even if I'm out of town, I have it on my phone.
It's always available right at your fingertips.
Round-the-clock coverage of local athletes.
High school sports coverage the way it's supposed to be.
I love what they did with the website.
Download the free app now. YourSportsEdge.com.
If you really enjoy the stories you hear on Traveling the Bluegrass, we'd like to invite you to listen to the whole visit uncut. Just type YourAgEdge.com into your browser. You'll find Traveling the Bluegrass uncut stories in long form, so you don't miss a thing. You'll also find lots of ag news and farm pictures from across the Commonwealth. You can also find all the Kentucky communities that Traveling the Bluegrass can be found. Remember to visit YourAgEdge.com.
Here's something you should know.
Listen to your favorite songs and watch as they're put into a laser light show at the Golden Pond Planetarium and Observatory at the Visitor Center in Golden Pond. 2 shows every Friday and Saturday evening starting at 5 p.m. For more information, contact landbetweenthelakes.us.
1580 103.3 WPKY. We care about our community. It's time for your SportsEdge.com Sideline Report with Todd Griffin. Talking sports and more here on 1580 103.3 WPKY and worldwide at WPKYOnline.com. Here's your host, Todd Griffin.
Good morning, everyone. The Sideline Report is on the air from 1035 West Main Street in Princeton, the WPKY studios. This is Todd Griffin of WPKY Radio and your SportsEdge.com. Good morning. Big show lined up for you today. Eli Pepper will be joining us a little bit later on this morning. He's the new basketball coach at West Kentucky Community and Technical College, so can't wait to talk to Eli about that. But we're going to start this morning on the phone, and Dave Winder of Murray State University joins us. And Dave, good morning. How are things in Murray today?
Well, Todd, it's a beautiful, on the eve of homecoming weekend here at Murray State, and we're just hoping that the weather holds out and we could have a beautiful Saturday for the cap of homecoming, which is the football game against Austin Peay. So, yeah, we're doing good. It's a big week. I've got a lot of people coming in tomorrow night for baseball, football, softball, tennis, other athletic teams, reunions. It's going to be a big weekend, and really looking forward to it, especially since a year ago we had to have a virtual homecoming, and that wasn't as much fun as being in person.
Well, I'm kind of glad some of the COVID things are being put behind us now and we can move on. Not to make light of the COVID situation at all, but it just seems like this fall sports is trying to get back to normal everywhere.
It is. Here at Murray State, we still have some things that we're doing to mitigate any problems. But we have had unlimited attendance at football. We had 9,000 people attend family weekend back in late September. And so we're looking for a big crowd Saturday. And if you get a chance to come to the game, you're going to see one of the biggest rivalries in all of college athletics, I think, and that's Murray State and Austin Peay. I'm sad that, after this season, our rivalry will be an out-of-conference rivalry because Austin Peay's announced they're going to the Atlantic Sun. But I think in years after this, even though we're not conference members in the Ohio Valley Conference together, I think you'll still see Austin Peay and Murray State competing in every sport.
Well, that was going to be one of my questions this morning with Austin Peay leaving. The Governors have to stay on the schedules, right?
Yeah, they're in them and Belmont. And, of course, Belmont announced they're going to the Missouri Valley. Both of those teams are OVC members for the rest of the 21-22 school year, yes.
You mentioned it is homecoming week there at Murray State, and, of course, coming off a big football win last Saturday at SEMO.
I think with about 5 minutes to go in that game, if you looked at the live stats on ESPN, I think, they have that win percentage tracker.
Yeah.
That goes up and down depending on how the game is going as it progresses. And I think with 5 minutes to go and down by 2 touchdowns, the Racers were given a 3.7, 3.2, something like that chance of winning the game. So, at that minute with 5 minutes to go, it didn't look very good. And our first-time starting quarterback, DJ Williams, who is from Harvey, Illinois, he got his first start Saturday, and he was absolutely brilliant. He's just a redshirt freshman, Todd, so you're going to be hearing a lot more from DJ Williams in his Murray State career for sure. But he led us down the field quickly, and we got a touchdown on a little pass over the middle to DeMonte Witherspoon. He took it in maybe 35 yards out. And then defensively, Murray State came up with really 3 straight stops to give the ball back to the offense. And then the tying touchdown was a 52-yard punt return by Malik Honeycutt. And if you remember, Todd, Malik Honeycutt is the same guy who 2 years ago, or is it 3, returned that kickoff with 3 seconds to go to win the game against SEMO. So we heard people yelling, he did it again, he did it again. So that tied it up. And then with about, I guess we got the ball back with 1:37 left and really needed about 40 yards to get into really good field goal range to try and win it. And again, it was that same little pass over the middle to Witherspoon, and he took it all the way down to inside the 30. And then Aaron Baum, who has been a great kicker for Murray State, a kid from Florida, he comes in and makes a 35-yarder on the final play to win it. So it was a great win for the Racers. Now, however, Todd, that was not a conference game, right?
Right.
Because we're playing Eastern Illinois and SEMO twice because of the departures of EKU and Jacksonville State. So we beat EIU and SEMO, but they aren't conference wins because we still have to play them one more time the rest of the season.
Well, and the rally there from 16 down in the fourth quarter is a pretty big rally, but you guys came back from 31-0 down just a few years ago, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the Malik Honeycutt game I was talking about. We call that the Miracle in Murray. What's interesting, Todd, is I basically made myself our official athletics photographer in 2014. So I shoot regularly well over 100 sports events for the Racers every year. And the day that Honeycutt returned that kickoff, he ran right at me. I was in the end zone. He ran right at me, and I got these great pictures of him doing a cartwheel into the end zone.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we've got posters made of that. It just says the Miracle in Murray. And then here he is last Saturday picking up the ball, 52-yard punt return to tie the game. Interesting thing about it, if you go back and look at it, Malik really fooled everybody on the SEMO punt return team or punt team. The ball was rolling, and Southeast had like 8 guys around the ball, and they're kind of letting it roll as you do, and they were going to down it. The ball is still moving. No one has touched it yet, and Honeycutt is behind the ball, kind of backpedaling a little bit, and then all of a sudden he just reached down and grabbed it, and once he got past the circle of SEMO defenders, there was only 3 guys to stop him, and then he picked up a couple of blocks and really walked into the end zone. It was an unbelievable play. Southeast kind of relaxed a little bit, and they thought, okay, we'll just down it. But the guy who could pick the ball up, he had another idea.
Yeah. Well, big weekend for Murray State. Again, homecoming, hosting Austin Peay football. Changing gears, though, to basketball. I know this is a big time of year at Murray State. The OVC preseason basketball poll, though, has the Racers behind Belmont and Morehead State. So that tells me it's going to be a pretty big year in the OVC.
And I'm okay with that. I don't put any stock in those preseason predictions. Let's face it, the reason we do it is to get the word out that, hey, this is kind of what the coaches and the sports information directors are thinking. The Racers men's team picked third, which I'm fine with. Put the onus on Belmont. It seems like we're the ones always getting picked first, and then you got the pressure of being the number one expected pick. Now, our women's team and head coach Rochelle Turner, they were also picked third, and that is their highest preseason ranking since 2008. So things are really looking up for our women's team. Macy Turley, all OVC for 2 years. She's on the preseason team. Young lady here from Murray, Kentucky, and then Caitlin Young. She's up around the Chicago area. She's also on the preseason team. And then for the men, Tevin Brown and KJ Williams are back. It just seems like those guys have been playing for us for 8 years. They're such veteran players. They're both already in our 1,000-point club. Tevin Brown is I think 13 or 14 three-pointers from passing Isaiah Cannon as the all-time three-point king at Murray State. And KJ Williams, by the time he's done, he has a chance to be, I think, one of 10 racers to score 1,500 points and grab 700 rebounds in our history. So we're really looking forward to the season. We've got Racer Mania next week on Thursday night, a week from today. That's a free event. Doors open to the arena at 6. We start at 6:30, and it's just a really fun night of kind of a Meet the Racers night. And then today you're going to see Coach Matt McMahon and Rochelle Turner in the news because today is OVC Basketball Media Day, so they're going to be meeting with media members this afternoon between 1 and 2 o'clock. So you'll see that coming out. And then November the 1st, the season gets underway with an exhibition doubleheader here at the arena. That's a Monday night. And the women's team playing Trevecca Nazarene and the men's team playing Brescia. So it's here, and we're about to have that overlap season, Todd, where you got a lot of football and a lot of basketball going on.
Oh, yeah, it's a fun time of the year, though. And looking ahead to the men's schedule, you guys have Auburn and Memphis on that schedule this year.
Yes, I think probably both teams, if they're not in the top 10, they'll be very close to it. So those will be big challenges. That game at Memphis is also part of Murray State night. Well, I guess call it Murray State weekend at the Memphis Grizzlies. By the way, Ja had 36 in his first game last night as they opened up the season.
Yeah, that's not a bad opener.
Grizzlies beat Cleveland. I watched a little bit of that game, and Ja is just really, think about it. I mean, he's still a young NBA player, and he's figuring a lot of stuff out, isn't he? It's pretty amazing. But the Racers play at Memphis on December 10th, and then the next night is Murray State night at the Memphis Grizzlies. I think they're playing the Rockets, I believe. And then so if the fans out there want to attend the Grizzlies game on Murray State night, just contact the Grizzlies. They've got tickets, or contact the Murray State alumni office too. But so yeah, I think Memphis will be top 10 when we play them. I know Auburn probably will be too. The Auburn game is 3 days before Christmas. That'll be our last game before the Christmas break. And then our women's team, they've got road games at Missouri and Florida. So they're also going to go on the road and challenge against some of the nation's best women's teams. So it's going to be a big time.
Yeah, looking even further ahead, one thing that I'm kind of excited about, I see Western Kentucky back on the schedule coming up.
You know, we're really excited about that. If you may have missed it because it was kind of mixed in with a lot of other busy news and announcements a few weeks ago. But Murray State men's basketball has agreed with Western Kentucky to renew the series, but the game won't be until 2023. So you got this season and next before they renew the series. But I know the fan bases from both schools, they miss that rivalry. They love it when Murray State and Western play. It just summons so many memories of the past and those great OVC years when Western was in the league, especially in the 70s. I remember Cal Luther, who was coaching Murray State, and Western, was they went to the Final Four one of those years in the 70s, and were just a great team. And so, yeah, it'll be good. But we got to wait a little while for that one to come about. But it is coming.
Yeah, that's a big one, though, for Caldwell County because, we're kind of right in the middle. We're about an hour from Murray, an hour and a half from Bowling Green, so that's always a big deal here. Oh, yeah, it's a big deal all over the say, Region 1 or Region 2, right? I mean, it's probably Region 3. It's just one of those things that I think people our age and older, we just remember those times. I miss Middle Tennessee being in the OVC. Murray State and Middle Tennessee had such great rivalries over the years too. And then if you just even go back to the early 70s, East Tennessee was in the OVC. So it's good. It's good that it's good for both programs for Murray State and Western to play men's basketball for sure. Well, and you mentioned kind of the history of the OVC there, and we've seen some turnover through the years, and even recently, you mentioned Austin Peay's leaving the conference. Belmont is on the way to the Missouri Valley. What is kind of the future for the OVC, and how do you see all this conference realignment stuff shaking out? Well, I'm like you, Todd. I'm waiting to see how it all comes out myself. I'm just trusting in the leadership of our university and that of the OVC and all the other members that are remaining in the OVC. To listen, the OVC is going to survive. There's no question. It's going to look different, obviously, with people deciding to go and do other things, but it's going to survive. And we are going to have a few years of transition here. There's no question. Everybody is. It's just amazing how the landscape of conference affiliation has just really changed the way we look at conferences. It's amazing. Sometimes I have a list that I get from Kyle Schwartz, our good colleague from the Ohio Valley Conference. It's just one sheet that has all the conference alignments. And being an older person myself, it's just really hard for me, for example, to remember that Missouri is in the SEC. They're not in the Big 12. I grew up a Missouri fan. And then seeing Rutgers in the Big 12, it's just it's so it used to be regionally based, but I think those days are over. So we are seeing some change, but I also tell people, Todd, that I've got a lot to do currently, so I'm concentrating on the here and now, and I'll let the other stuff play it out, and we'll see it. We're talking with Dave Winder from Murray State University this morning. And, Dave, I can remember when Arkansas was still in part of that Southwest Conference group, and even seeing Arkansas and South Carolina in the SEC still seems just a little strange. It does. I remember going back even the old Metro Conference with Cincinnati and Louisville and Memphis. Oh, for sure. I always thought and Florida State was in there. That was a great league as well. So, I guess the only thing you can count on in college athletics is that there will be change. And that's not only what we're talking about with the conference changes, but just head coaches, they come and go, and they move on to other schools. And, it's just a fact of life in college athletics. There will be change. Well, and that affects all of your schedules and everything when you start trying to figure out, travel and those kind of things. I even saw where the OVC has a football scheduling alliance with the Southland Conference, which I believe is mostly Texas and Louisiana schools coming up. Yeah, that was announced last week as well, and that is I thought that was a good move because with the subtractions from the OVC, everybody's looking for non-conference games, and that's going to allow the OVC to partner with the Southland. They need games too.
for 2022 and 23. So if it goes any further than that, I guess we'll have to wait and see. But it is good for both of those conferences to help each other and get games scheduled. And that, I go back to the fact that we're playing Eastern Illinois and SEMO twice this season, Todd, and that's because once EKU and Jacksonville State left, it was really late for us to find replacement non-conference games. So in order for us to guarantee an 11-game season, we didn't want to just play 9. We want to give the kids a full season. That's why we decided to play Eastern Illinois and SEMO twice. So they're in the same boat as us. They needed 2 games. We needed 2 games, so we decided to go ahead and play them twice.
Yeah, some interesting times in college athletics, like you mentioned.
Yeah, it certainly is. But this weekend's game against Austin Peay, this is an OVC game, so it's big on Saturday, and we're expecting a big crowd. You need to come over if you can, because we've got a special pregame surprise.
Okay.
I'm just going to tease you with that right now. If you come to the game, make sure you're in the stadium when the racers come out on the field. You're going to be really amazed.
Well, Dave, as always,
a little tradition we're going to add.
Okay. As always, appreciate you taking some time with us this morning. Just one more thing. Dave, what are our St. Louis Cardinals doing, and who's going to be the next manager?
Oh, boy. Yeah, I've listened to a lot of commentators after Mike Schilt was fired. I've read a lot of things. There's varying opinions on maybe Mike overplayed his position with the team. So I don't know. That's the other thing there. I mean, I never thought the Cardinals would be looking for a new manager. Maybe they could get Tony La Russa to come back, huh?
Hey, who knows? Yeah. Yeah, it went from the Cardinals are talking about a contract extension to, we see the report that he's been fired. So
I know that's probably one of the more shocking things I've heard the past couple of weeks that you just didn't see coming. So that kind of as the Will Ferrell movie where he was the Ron Burgundy. Well, that escalated quickly.
Yeah, Anchorman, yes.
Yeah, so we shall see.
All right, we'll keep up with it. Dave, thanks. Have a great day.
Okay, Todd. You guys have a great day.
That is Dave Winder from Murray State University. He's the Associate AD there for Media Relations. Always appreciate him coming on and updating us on the Murray State Racer football, basketball, all the programs there at Murray State University. Eli Pepper has joined us in the studio. We'll be talking with him in just a bit. Stay with us as we continue here on the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Life is filled with moments we share with those we love, worry about, and strive to protect the most. At Woodman Life, we provide life insurance and retirement products to help protect you and your family so that you can enjoy all the moments to come.
This is Josh Ray, your local Woodman Life agent. Come see us at 1009 West Main Street or give us a call at 365-6111.
Certain eligibility and age restrictions apply. Woodman of the World Life Insurance Society, Omaha, Nebraska.
Trice Hughes has been serving Western Kentucky for over 60 years. Their experienced sales force, ASE certified techs, and all the friendly folks at Trice Hughes have worked to become your family's exclusive automotive dealer. The home team that's kept our families safe on the road for generations. From work to play and everything in between, your home team has what you need. Stop by and drive the difference. Our home team, Trice Hughes, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this week is Think Pink Week. At WPKY, we encourage you to get your screenings and health check. So if you have not scheduled those, do it today. Big thank you to all of our sponsors: The Tin Roof, Copper and Daisy, Funeral Hospice, Planters Bank, Morgan's Funeral Home, First Southern National Bank, McDonald's, and Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique. Think Pink all week long and find out more at WPKYonline.com.
You Imagine this. It's late at night, it's cold and dark, and you have a flat tire. One never knows when old Bessie's going to cause you problems. There's only one place to call, Wallace Towing and Recovery in Princeton. Wallace Towing and Recovery is a 24/7 towing and recovery service. You can count on Wallace Towing and Recovery to get you safe and back on the road or to a repair shop. Wallace Towing and Recovery will jumpstart your vehicle, change a tire, deliver gas, unlock a door, or haul to the garage or scrapyard. Wallace Towing and Recovery has you covered in Princeton and surrounding areas. Call Wallace Towing and Recovery. Check them out on Facebook, and when you need a tow or roadside help, call Wallace Towing and Recovery at 270-963-9081.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks for tuning in this morning. Do want to mention our Caldwell County Tiger power lineman of the game from the win at Murray last week. Cole Sherrill gets the honor this week from C3 Electric. That's the C3 lineman of the game. The Tigers with a big 20-14 win down at Murray High School last Friday. The power lineman is brought to you by C3 Electric, selling and servicing Generac generators, new construction, remodels, and more. With over 24 years experience, you can trust C3 Electric for quality service and installation. Also, Emma Talley in action over in South Korea on the LPGA Tour. Emma shot a 1 par 71 in the first round of the BMW Ladies Championship. That was today over there, but it was actually last night here because of the 14-hour time difference. Emma is tied for 42nd. There are only 84 players in the field this week and no cut this week, so everybody will make some money in that event. Emma is scheduled to tee off in the second round at 8:21 a.m. on Friday. Again, the big time difference there from here in South Korea. That will actually be 6:21 p.m. tonight for Emma to tee off in the second round there. Back with more on the Sideline Report after this. Stay with us here at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Treasures Remembered Florist and Greenhouse.
From the Weather Edge Weather Center, slight chance of showers this morning. Otherwise, sunshine today with a high 72 degrees. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a low dipping back to 46. Mostly sunny Friday with a high 65. Sunshine Saturday with a high 69 degrees. Could be a shower or two moving into the afternoon hours. Once again, our forecast today, slight chance of showers this morning, then mostly sunny. High 72.
Trice Hughes has been serving Western Kentucky for over 60 years. Their experienced sales force, ASE certified techs, and all the friendly folks at Trice Hughes have worked to become your family's exclusive automotive dealer. The home team that's kept our families safe on the road for generations. From work to play and everything in between, your home team has what you need. Stop by and drive the difference. Our home team, Trice Hughes, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
The city's second annual free Halloween scavenger hunt will take place Saturday, October 30th from 3 to 6 p.m. And WPKY will have live reports starting at 4. Not only will there be lots of candy and goodies, but there'll be a brand new mystery for our trick-or-treaters to solve. The answers to the riddles will be used to spell out the secret to this year's story. Make your plans to join us for all the fun.
Thank you to all of our spectacular sponsors, Morgan's Funeral Home, Blooms by the Brook, Princeton Drugstore, and Far Less Realty.
This is the Sideline Report on 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Thanks to Dave Winder from Murray State University for coming on the show this morning. Joined now on the Sideline Report by Eli Pepper, who is the new men's basketball coach at West Kentucky Community and Technical College. Eli, good morning, and tell us about the new job.
Good morning, Todd. Appreciate you having me. I took this job in July. It's out in Paducah. Got a bunch of good kids, a bunch of excited kids trying to get this program established. But it's been a good time.
Tell us about kind of the schedule you guys play and what kind of teams do you play?
Yeah, we'll have about 21 games this year. Play a lot of community colleges, preparatory schools, and JV teams like Brescia's JV team, Dyersburg State Community. We'll play in a tournament here in 2 weeks in Olney Central in Illinois with some NCAA sanctioned teams since we're not. It'll be good. And then at the end of the year, we'll host our own invitational for the guys, have 4 teams come in, and hopefully walk out of there with a trophy in our own gym.
Yeah. Now, how did this opportunity kind of come about for you?
Yeah, it came about really weirdly, a lot of prayer. I was really wanting to get my feet wet and get a head coaching job, kind of see how good I am, how good I can be, and if it's really something I wanted to do. Princeton connection I didn't even know I had was up there, though, and they gave me a call. They said the job was available, and I took full advantage of it.
Really? Well, that's good to have those connections then, because that worked out really good for you. And when you went to college to play basketball, was becoming a coach someday kind of part of the equation?
It was never part of it until probably my senior year. You know, I knew I wanted to go play after I got out of college, but as soon as I got out of college, I was ready to get back into it. And on the coaching side of things, because I've told a lot of people it's a lot easier to tell kids what to do than be told what to do for your career. So it's been a good time. I've enjoyed it.
Well, and you played for Casey Alexander down at Lipscomb, and he's now at Belmont. And we just talked to Dave Winder about Belmont's headed to the Missouri Valley, but you had to pick up a lot of things from that situation.
Yeah, Coach Casey, he's a Hall of Fame coach. You know, he coached under Rick Byrd, played under Rick Byrd, who is a Hall of Famer. Learned a lot, and you know, it's the most important thing I learned from those guys are relationship-based coaching. I still talk to those coaches once or twice a week. Him and Coach Riciliano down there. So that's probably the most important thing I took from them, but also schematics and plays and stuff like that you can take from them any day.
Well, I was going to ask, does that kind of shape the way you want to try to play?
Yeah, it does for sure. The biggest thing it shapes is recruiting. You know, they recruited a specific type of player, smart players, not to the size that Division I players usually are. That's how I got there, you know. Not by my ability at all, but it's when you get to this level, this JUCO level or prep school level, you have your hands tied with a lot of players that you recruit. So that's something that I'm really experiencing the learning curve of, is recruiting kids and getting kids into our program. It's hard to get kids into a program that's not NCAA sanctioned when you can't offer a scholarship and only a 2-year school and things like that. So that's the biggest learning curve so far, but I've enjoyed every little bit.
Well, that was my next question is, where do your players come from?
Yeah, right now most of our players are from Paducah. I've got 2 players from Carbondale, Illinois, and then I've had 2 from Cape Girardeau, and I've got one from Ohio. Nice thing is we have a little tryout before the season usually, and most players find out about us just through word of mouth. It's not actually us going out, and so we'll get to have that once a year. But I'd like to bring the recruiting to this end of the state, Region 1, 2, and 3, because a lot of players here don't even know that we have a program down there. It doesn't get talked about enough, but hopefully some wins and some things like that will turn that around really quickly.
Well, one thing you can offer guys is playing time.
Yeah, for sure. The best part for our program is, since we're not NCAA sanctioned, you don't lose your NCAA eligibility if you come play here. You can get a head start, get your associate's degree in 2 years, and we'll still walk in and transfer into an NCAA school as a freshman.
Okay.
Technically. So that's our biggest selling point recruiting-wise. But we got to get that out to more people. That's a really big thing. You could call us a prep school, but you're working on college classes, getting a college degree, associate's degree at the least.
Well, that's a perfect situation for a guy that maybe isn't ready just yet to go to that NCAA school, but thinks he may have a future and he can get ahead with his schoolwork too.
For sure, and that's the good thing about this side of the state, why I want to bring recruiting here. There's probably more kids that need a little extra help, extra push in the classroom, and they are ready to go to NCAA schools, just not in the classroom level yet. That's something we can provide, and that's something that our program takes very seriously as academics, and it's been really good for us so far. Our kids have been great.
Well, have you guys started practicing already?
Oh, yeah, we've been practicing since late July. We had a preseason jamboree tournament this past weekend in Carbondale. We played much better than any of us thought we were going to be. We looked a lot better, and we came out and made shots, and that always helps in basketball. We ended up 0-3, some really close games, but these prep school jamborees I'm learning a lot about are kind of just thrown together. And it was 20-minute running clock, so it's not actual real games, but I was very impressed by our kids.
Now, do you have a limit on the number of players you can have on your team?
Nope. Right now we've got 11 right now. We'll pick one up after the Christmas break. He's coming from Triton University. Very good player. Glad we found him and got him. Jermaine Davis. He'll be really big help once we get to the Christmas break, but we'll be fine until we get there. We got start next week playing SEMO Prep on Thursday in Cape. really looking forward to that. I know the guys are ready to see some new faces.
Well, and you mentioned before we came on the air that you'd even had to kind of take to the court for a couple of practices.
Yeah, for sure. It's our kids, they have jobs. They're full-time students and full-time athletes, so their plates are full, and I feel for them. I tell them all the time that's something I didn't have to deal with. I was lucky enough that all I had to focus on was sports and school. But they have jobs, so a lot of times we'll end up with only 9 or 8, 7 at practice, and I've got to jump in there. But it's good. I'm glad I'm still young enough and able to do it because I don't know how much longer I'll be able to.
Well, we talked a little bit about the style you want to play. Do you have something you really want to try to get accomplished, or are you just kind of trying to look at the kids and do whatever kind of fits what works for them?
Yeah, see, that's the biggest thing I'm taking from high school. In high school, you don't get to recruit your kids, so you've got to kind of cater to them and their abilities. But we're going to run a lot of the same stuff that we did at Caldwell because our kids, they latched onto it really well, and I think if I could teach them that, I can teach WKCTC kids that. We'll run a read and react 4-out 1-in offense where I don't have to have my kids go from point A to B to C, where they can learn the game, and they don't have to be robots. I want them to have freedom and autonomy. I don't want to just be their boss out there. I want them to really learn the game at the level that I tried to under Casey.
Well, at Caldwell, you and Daniel Cookie Hicko and Dustin Cash combined to make Caldwell one of the tallest coaching staffs in Western Kentucky. So.
Yeah, I miss those guys already. I still try to talk to them as much as I can, but I wouldn't be at WKCTC without those guys. Coach K taught me so much, not just on the court stuff, but another relationship-based coach and a guy I'll forever be thankful for. A guy I look forward to calling after every single game, and him calling me after theirs because I'm still going to keep up with those guys. But yeah, I already miss those guys big time.
Well, at Caldwell, you're one of the only guys to ever have a triple-double. And then you had a big career at Lipscomb, and I think you're still among the ASUN career rebounding leaders.
Yeah, I had a good career. I'm glad it's moved on. I'm glad the ball's stopped bouncing. It's nice to be on the other side because now you kind of get to see the mind games and the chess behind the game. But I'm kind of getting thrown in the fire, and I'm learning a lot the hard way. But it's been good. I've enjoyed every bit of it.
Well, and got to play a little professional basketball, too. So I would think all of those things, you've kind of seen it from a bunch of different directions. So that should really help you when you start trying to coach a team up.
Yeah, it's good. I can pick and choose from different schemes and strategies that I want to use because I've got to play under 3 incredible coaches who run 3 different systems. Mm-hmm. And then I'm trying to form my own but still show where I come from, who I learned from.
Well, as you think back, what are some of your best memories, first of all, as a Caldwell County Tiger?
Yeah, best memory, Lord. Hitting the buzzer beater to beat Madisonville for the regular season district championship was big in our own gym. That was really big. That's probably the number one. And then even though I didn't play my sophomore year in football, going to the state championship, that was top. Just going getting to see all my friends and their hard work and success pay off. And, they still talk about it. That was another big-time memory from my high school days.
Well, did anybody ever look at you as maybe a football player?
I got offered by Murray State. I went down there to an elite camp with Drake Van Hooser and D. Kane and a few others, and I had a really good showing, really lucky day. And I did get offered. I think about all the time where I'd be if I would have went and played football, but I've never been more comfortable with a choice than going to Lipscomb.
Well, you said when you signed with Lipscomb that you wanted to play in the NCAA tournament, which Lipscomb had only been an NCAA member for a few years, I think, at that point. But you guys got to do that.
Yeah, I think during my recruiting process, Casey did an incredible job of kind of forming a picture of where that program was going and where I fit in. And everything he said kind of came to fruition. He told me I could go there and play. I wasn't going to ride the bench, and I could be a contributing factor. And he brought in incredible pieces around all of us and we all fit really well together and played well together. And yeah, that was the goal, go to the March Madness at least once. We should have went twice, but surreal experience, best sport memory I'll ever have.
Well, and still some of those guys playing in the NBA.
Yeah, Garrison Matthews, I talk to him 2 or 3 times a week, roommate for 4 straight years, but he's doing good. He was on the Celtics for a little bit. They offered him a 2-way. I'm not sure whether he took it or not. I need to check back in with him. I know they played last night and he didn't play. But that's another good guy right there, another guy that knows the game incredibly well that I love talking about it with.
We're talking with Eli Pepper this morning. He's the new coach at West Kentucky Community and Technical College. Back with more on the Sideline Report after this timeout here at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Cozy Living Interiors and Boutique.
From the Weather Edge Weather Center, slight chance of showers this morning. Otherwise, sunshine today with a high 72 degrees. Partly cloudy skies tonight, a low dipping back to 46. Mostly sunny Friday with a high 65. Sunshine Saturday with a high 69 degrees. Could be a shower or two moving into the afternoon hours. Once again, our forecast today, slight chance of showers this morning, then mostly sunny, high 72.
The holiday season is just around the corner. Perhaps you need to spruce up your home, or maybe you need some maintenance on your vehicle to get it road ready for holiday travel. And then let's not forget about purchasing all the gifts. At ABC Finance, we can help with loans from $500 to $12,000. Decisions are made quickly, usually within an hour. Apply online at abcfinanceonline.com or stop by our locations on Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville and the Princeton Plaza in Princeton.
Caldwell County is a special place in western Kentucky, featuring beautiful tracts of land. Even though the real estate market is always in a constant state of change, Bollinger Real Estate and Auction understands this and is ready to work for you.
Hi, my name is Ben Bollinger with Bollinger Real Estate and Auction. Whether it's a property valuation or time to sell, Bollinger's team is dedicated to work for you. Real estate solutions with a passion for people.
We are back on the Sideline Report at 1580, 103.3 WPKY. Again, thanks for tuning in this morning. Appreciate Dave Winder joining us earlier from Murray State University. Talking right now with Eli Pepper, head coach of basketball at West Kentucky Community and Technical College. And Eli, that's kind of a mouthful. What's the abbreviation you guys use for all that?
We just call ourselves the Wpky Stars. We kind of make fun of it a little bit because it is a mouthful.
Well, and I was going to say that a lot of people might remember Paducah Community College a little easier, and they had some big basketball teams back in the day.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, a lot of people didn't even know that there's a program there, and I of course, I didn't, to be honest. And when I walked in, you get to see Mr. Billy Boyd's name hanging up on a banner from when they won the national championship when they were NCAA sanctioned. So they're trying to bring that culture back a little bit, and I hope I get to be the foundation and the start of that for sure.
So the Stars are ready to play, and you mentioned season getting underway. What's kind of your goal for your first year there?
Yeah, for sure. I want to have a winning season. I've got, of those 11 kids, I want to be able to send them off to NCAA schools and live their dream and play NCAA sanctioned basketball, because it is a dream. It's a great place to be, and those kids deserve it. And I've got a few kids that can do it. So I'd like to have 2 or 3 in NCAA schools for sure, and I want to have a winning record for sure. There's no doubt about it. We can have it. But yeah, we're super excited, ready to get going next week.
Yeah, you mentioned during the break there that at this point you're kind of having trouble getting a lot of fans in for your games, though.
Yeah, and like I said, wins will take care of that, and you'll bring fans. But right now, due to COVID, we're at a 50-person max in the gym. That includes our players, so it's going to be tough to get fans in there, but hopefully we can generate some excitement around the program and get that lifted if we can get this COVID thing taken care of. I know everybody's tired of it, but we'd love to see anyone in the community that wants to come out and see a game. Come on, I might know a guy that can get you some tickets, I guess. But like in January, we got 6 games, 5 are home. That'll be a good time to come. But it's Hall's Gymnasium in Paducah, right off exit 7. It's on your first left. But I'd love to have anybody from Princeton there and show what we got going on down there.
Yeah, that's a big opportunity there, and are you hoping that maybe eventually this leads to something bigger and better?
Yeah, for sure. I don't want to see it as a stepping stone, because I love my job at Farmers Bank. I'm very, very blessed to work at a place that allows me to still coach and chase my passions. So I like where I'm at right now. It's not that I'm looking for another coaching job, but I mean, yeah, of course that would be cool to go to an NCAA sanctioned school, be a coach, and do stuff like that. But I'll take this as collegiate coaching. It's been a goal, a dream, and I love where I'm at. I wouldn't change it for the world right now.
Well, and you're young enough, you still kind of relate to those guys, so it just has to be a lot of fun to go to practice every day and get ready for games.
It is. There's a thin line where sometimes I get confused with the players that we're not buddies. I'm their coach, and they're my players, and they get it confused too. But it's also good. They feel like they can talk to me about things they maybe wouldn't with another older coach or something like that, and the normal coach you'd imagine having. But it's nice to have friends that are your players, and you get to go see them every day and try to influence them and give them advice anytime. It's great.
Well, I appreciate you coming in and telling us all about it this morning. How's your golf game going?
Not good. I haven't played since the 4-man, so it's not looking good right now.
Well, I was going to ask you, who's the better golfer, you or your brother Jake?
Jake, by far. There's no doubt about it. He lives on the course, legitimately, but yeah.
All right, who hits the ball farther, though?
I can hit it farther, not straighter.
Well, good luck to you down at West Kentucky Community and Technical College. And like I said, we've got what'd you say you called it? The
Wpky Stars.
Yeah, we'll work on that.
Well, I appreciate it, Todd.
Yeah, thanks, Eli. That is Eli Pepper. He's the coach at West Kentucky Community and Technical College, basketball coach there, and, of course, a former Tiger standout. Went on, had a great career at Lipscomb University in Nashville. That's going to wrap us up this morning on the Sideline Report. Thanks a lot for being with us. Again, reminder, no football this week for the Caldwell County Tigers. This was the off week on the schedule. Tigers will finish up the regular season next week over at Trigg County in the 139 Bowl. Thanks for joining us here on the Sideline Report this morning on 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
WPKY Princeton.
Fox News. I'm Chris Foster. The number of new weekly unemployment claims is the lowest since the start of the coronavirus pandemic last March.
A new pandemic low coming in at 290,000 initial claims. The estimate was 300,000, so this coming in better than expectations.